So for context, I live in a city that was ranked one of the top places in the US to retire. So an older person asking small favors from strangers is super common. This happened yesterday. I was shopping at Walmart and a tiny little old lady, who I am guessing was in her 90s, asked me, "Excuse me, can you please grab that bag of flour for me?" I said sure, grabbed and put in the kid seat of her cart so the cashier can scan it without having to lift it. She thanked me and we chatted for maybe 30 seconds. Then behind me I hear a different woman's voice, who sounded annoyed. "Okay, you have spent enough time on her, where is the coffee creamer?" I turned and said, "What?" As soon as I saw her face, it dawned on me that I am going to have a Karen moment. Also super common in my area. The Karen says, "It's your job to help all the customers, not just her." The old lady says, "He doesn't work here, he is just helping an old lady because his parents raised him right." There was a noticeable pause. Then the old lady just turned and walked away. In my head she was strutting off with a half-finished cigarette in mouth and pixelated sunglasses, walking into the sunset while the Mandalorian end credits music plays. Not sure if this is a "you had to be there" moment, but I have been laughing ever since. First, I was just a witness. Second, no Karens were involved, I think. Setting: local pet store cat food is a very tall 6 feet 6 inches to 6 feet 8 inches young flamboyantly dressed black man walking down the aisle with his male companion. They were passing by a very petite, older Hispanic woman who rattled something off in Spanish, like machine gun fire, at him, while pointing up to the top shelf. I swear it looked like a setup for a sitcom, and I was not disappointed. The man turns to his companion and says, "I don't know what she wants. Do I lift her up and let her choose, or just start handing shit down to her?" I lost it. I mean, almost peed my pants, lost it. They heard me. Everyone was just staring at me as I tried to compose myself. Then I heard the companion say, "Just start handing her shit, there are witnesses." Background: I have a disability that will sometimes make it painful to walk, require the use of a cane or walker. Also my favorite is I can just randomly fall down. It isn't the type of falling where it looks like you tripped, but just a straight down crumple. It can be very embarrassing, and today was one of those days. I was doing some shopping at Walmart, pushing my cart, and boom. Leg gave out and I'm on the ground. Lots of people run over to see if I'm okay. "Thank you, nice people." I go through my always hurried explanation of "I'm okay, no, I don't need medical help, this just happens due to a disability." Like always, people are trying to help, but then like a parting of the Red Sea, an employee in a blue polo and khakis walks through the small crowd. He lets me get up on my own because I said I could, and guides me to the bench by the pharmacy. I explain again and he offers to help me shop. I say thanks, but I'm done because I don't even have my walker or cane in the car, plus I have to push my cart. He offers a mobility scooter, but I just want to leave because I'm embarrassed. He gets really excited and tells me to wait and walks away. He brought back a cane and says sorry, but the walkers are all boxed up and he will push my cart. He just has this look of pure joy. I'm thinking this guy just doesn't want to do whatever task he has been assigned, so I say sure. I've been there before. We walk and I claim I only need a couple items. I needed a lot, but again I'm embarrassed and just want to go home and cry. We talk while he helps me get things, loads it on the belt, puts it in my car. I try to tip him and ask the best way to let his boss know how great he was. Then, "Oh, I don't work here." I nearly died. I start apologizing faster than anyone ever has. I started to explain because of his clothing. Oh wait, that's right. Walmart employees don't have to wear blue shirts now. They wear a vest. He tried so hard not to laugh but failed. I asked him why he helped me if he didn't work there. He said because his mother taught him to help people. It was too much. I started crying in the parking lot. After I pulled myself together, we chatted briefly. We exchanged numbers and are going to grab coffee with his GF later this week. I moved last year and have had trouble making new friends because of the pandemic, so now I might have 2 new ones. Best fall I've ever had. Most embarrassing too. Due in part to my army job, 27 years active service in military intelligence, and living in Munich, Germany for many years, I have become fairly fluent in German. I was approached by a woman not long ago who for some reason thought I was an employee at the supermarket we were in and, in a very demanding tone, demanded assistance. I quickly responded to her in German and answered everything she said to me, such as, "Whereas such and such item question mark. Why aren't you speaking English? This is America exclamation mark. Let me speak to your manager." In German. Her face got redder and I thought she might have a heart attack. She finally gave up and walked away. I detest Americans who believe in American exceptionalism. Background/context: I'm a 65-year-old white male with a full, white beard and a well-earned beer gut. At the time of this story, just after Thanksgiving, I was shopping at a fairly nice mall anchoring department store. Now to be fair to the Karen of the story, I was wearing a bright red hoodie. But with old, nicely broken-in jeans and gray Merrell hiking boots. Absolutely nothing like the business casual attire of the store employees. Also nowhere near a full Santa suit. I know, I've got one. Okay, the story. I'm browsing the kids' clothing, trying to find something cute for one of my granddaughters. She likes shirt dresses, long shorts and unicorns. I had a couple of her size t-shirts with the mythical beasties pictured on them in my cart, and was seeking for shorts to go with them, when I hear the call of the wild Karen, "Excuse me," at a fairly high volume from somewhere behind me. Naturally, I ignored it, although I said a quick prayer for whatever luckless individual it was actually directed at. Silly me. Next thing to break my shopping focus was a painfully forceful three-fingered, I know, 'cause I felt 3 claws, blow to my shoulder, hard enough to make me take an extra half-step for balance. No mean feat, since I'm 6'2", 50-ish pounds. My fight or flight reflex opted for fight, boding ill for the poker, since I'm a mildly PTSD veteran with a .44 Bulldog revolver on my hip. Yes, I have a permit, and no, this store does not forbid legally carried weapons. I whip around to face my assailant, stepping back to open up space, my right hand instinctively going to my holster, more to ensure no one is grabbing for my pistol than in any thought to pull it, my left coming up with fist clenched. Apparently this startled a squawk from Karen, a 30-40-year-old woman with an elementary-age-looking child in tow. She takes a half-step back and I relax a bit. We eye each other for a half-second or so in silence. I recover first. "What is wrong with you? Why did you hit me?" I bellowed. She's very contrite, mumbles an apology and flees. "Just kidding." With typical Karen logic, she screeches, "I did no such thing. And if you weren't ignoring customers, I wouldn't have had to." Me, I don't whoa. Karen, "Now, take me to your village or whatever. My niece wants her picture with you." Me, when? I actually said that. I think my brain locked for a second trying to make sense of this nonsensical topic shift. Karen, "You know, where you take pictures of kids." Me, "Lady, I'm not a photographer." Total confusion now. I mean, I'm thinking, did I have a stroke, or is she having one? Karen, "Of course not. The kids sit on you and get their picture taken. What kind of Santa are you?" Me, brain gears finally meshing, remembering the color of my sweatshirt. "Ma'am, I'm not Santa, I'm a shopper just like you." Thinking, except I'm not crazy. Karen, puzzlement finally replacing entitled wrath on her face. Well, then you shouldn't dress like one. You're just D's. Me, shaking my head, "So I shouldn't wear jeans?" At that, I start to hear laughter, the king of suppressed snort that gets away from someone who can't keep glee inside anymore. I turn and see a couple of employees and a few customers I hadn't noticed before with various expressions, ranging from mouth-covered snickering to red-faced, cheek-puffed grins. So does Karen, who stalks away without another word. Hardly my best comeback, but at least it pleased the peanut gallery. I simply bowed and went back to shopping. Many years ago, as I was exploring Walmart looking for good deals on unnecessary necessities, I was confronted by a sweet nice gorgeous woman of about 30-ish. Before she approached I was looking at the tool, car section, looking for a better impact, and some nice floor mats for my truck. As she approached with a cheery "Yahoo, I need some help," I immediately realized I made a mistake in my wardrobe today. You see, I like to wear vests, and today I was wearing my blue one. Mind you, it was a light blue akin to the blue worn by Walmart employees, but it had sparkly swirls all over it, and tassels. Well, I decided to be nice and help the lady out. It wouldn't hurt to help out, or so I thought. So I said yes. How can I help? And she said she needed a video game out of the cabinet and could I please get it for her? I then gave a little chuckle and tried to explain I thought she needed help with something heavy or a pie or locating something. I don't actually work here and I don't have keys to those cabinets. During my whole explanation, the sweetness in her face slowly got replaced with anger. She then screamed about I am wearing the blue vest and how I do work here and how dare I lie to her face and she is gonna get me fired. The whole time I was trying to calm her down and explain I don't work here, it was just a fancy vest and yeah. She ended up getting fed up with me telling horrible lies to an innocent woman just trying to get a present for her son and she very slowly raised her open hand and pulled it all the way back. As she started to bring the slap to my face, 3 thoughts crossed my mind. First, I am about to knock this birch tree's teeth in. Second, I don't remember seeing any cameras in this island. Most people would take the pretty woman's word over the large odd-dressed man's. Third, fake it, go with the slap. Well, I went with the slap, but a little too much, and my head smashed into a shelf. As I looked up from the floor, through the blood flowing over my face, I heard oh my god, and I saw another woman who had heard the screams and came over to see what the issue was and saw the whole slap. Then I looked at my attacker, and saw the fear in her eyes. Not shame, not shock, not feeling bad for attacking anyone, all I saw was fear of her consequences in her eyes. She then tried to run, the witness yelled out for her to stop. I then grabbed her ankle and she fell and slammed her face on the floor. I later found out she lost her 2 front teeth. And I felt really bad for hurting her, but she couldn't get away. Later, after statements and first aid treatment, mine was only a flesh wound. I got to watch my attacker get put into a police car while screaming all kinds of threats and obscenities at me. It was nice. I don't know if she got jail time though. Sorry for long read and bad writing style, I just thought I would share my story after a while of lurking.